Welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits. Each episode, we explore a teaching technique, tip, practice, or idea from faculty for faculty. Our current set of episodes is focusing on tips to help with teaching hybrid blended courses or fully online courses. Today, we have joining us Department Head for Criminal Justice, Brian Cranny. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Would you tell us a little bit about your background and the courses or formats in which you've taught?
Well, I'm a retired police officer and now obviously instructor here. I came from proprietary education. I worked for a for-profit school for about 5 years as a department head before I came to Greenville Tech. And I've been here just over 8 years now. And we have a pretty big program. We have over 180 students in the program. And we get a lot of working police officers and corrections officers and dispatchers. So by necessity, we've always taught online a lot, especially in the summertime. And in the current situation with the pandemic, we've moved entirely online, and we've been teaching entirely online since March. So we're always looking for ways to reach out to the students and try and spur them on and remind them that there's work due and that just because we don't have to go to class, you still have to do the work.
Wonderful. We're so glad to have you on the episode today to share a bit of your expertise with us, and specifically the tidbits you have to share, I think will be really helpful to faculty as they navigate teaching online. So Brian and his team have begun utilizing a tool in the Blackboard Grade Center, and he's here to share a bit about their experience and to just walk us through that tool and what it does. So Brian, I will turn it over to you to share your teaching tidbit.
Right. Well, as I said, we teach a lot online, and one of the big problems we've had in the past is sending reminders to students on work that's still due. In the past, what we always had to do is send out an announcement on Monday, the beginning of the week, saying, here's what you need to do this week. And then sometime during the week, we would try to remember to send out an email saying, hey, if you have not yet completed the work that's due this week, do it. The problem is a lot of students, they may not even remember who their instructor is, let alone which assignments they've done this week and which ones they haven't. And so they say, I think I did that, and how did I miss that? Well, a couple of years ago, we got, I think it was in the upgrade to Blackboard Ultra, we got this new tool that allows you to send a reminder to all students who do not yet have a grade on a particular assignment, so that you can go through, this is my playground course. You can see the student here is obviously not doing his work. If you look at one of the assignments, there's a pull down next to it. You can check and see, make sure this is an assignment that's due this week. This one was due a little while ago. If it were due today or this weekend, I could then go in here and click send reminder. It'll come up with a little pop-up window that says, are you sure you want to send a reminder to, in this case, the one student who does not have a grade for this submission? Sometimes it's 5, 6, 10, 30. You tell it yes. You'll get a little reminder or a little message across the top that says you successfully sent a reminder to your one student. They receive an email that says this: you currently don't have a grade or submission for the following coursework. It tells you the name of the assignment due, the date it was due, and it says please log in and review your coursework and check your calendar, so that they get a specific reminder for the coursework that was due that they have not yet turned in. Now, we formalize this. We still send out an announcement on Monday saying, here's the work you have to do this week. Generally, then we send out a reminder either Thursday or Friday. It tells them in advance, look, there's a pending assignment due. Some of that will depend on how big the assignment is. I've got a big research assignment coming in one of my classes. I'll start sending in announcements a little earlier for that because it's not something they can do in a day. But then I usually send out an announcement Saturday morning, and then since things in online courses generally do Sunday night, I send out an announcement Sunday night. I usually do it in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee and looking at my Kindle, I can just pull it up on the Kindle and send them all out then. It's one of the very few exceptions I have to the no sending emails before coffee rule. But the jury is still on how it works. I think I would have been more effective this semester, and I think we're going to incorporate it next semester if we put an announcement in the beginning that says, look for reminders. If you don't, because the students don't check email, we need to train them back into checking email so that if I send you a reminder on Friday saying you don't have a grade yet for this, it means you don't have a grade yet for this. So we just need to really close that gap with the students, but we're cautiously optimistic that this should be at least a little urge toward turning in the work that the students need, rather than, especially in online classes, getting marked absent and dropped from the class. So that's our tip.
Thank you so much, Brian. You gave us some really helpful things in here. I love that you point out the ease of this and that you actually can utilize it multiple times. But I think you also mentioned that you'll typically, if it's something due on Sunday, start sending reminders Thursday or Friday, which I think is, again, just speaks to making sure the students get the reminder and then still have time to complete it if they haven't started it. And again, you kind of tie back into one of the themes we've had coming through a lot of the episodes in the series, which is, again, that communication with students, you know, even in the form of a reminder that, hey, from the beginning, you're going to have reminders in your email. It's so important to check that as
Right.
well.
And when it gets to the end of the semester, I generally send out my final exam reminders daily. I start nagging them as soon as the final exam opens and tell them, get it done, get it done, get it done. And I tell them this in the face-to-face classes, your stress level will be much lower if you start things when they are announced rather than when they're due. And so far, it seems to be working pretty well. And as I said, the jury's out, but we'll see.
Well, good. I know we'll be excited to hear how it goes for you and what kind of results you get. I imagine they'll be positive, and I found that assignment reminder helpful as well. I like just the ease of it with being able to notify multiple students at once. So thank you so much for sharing that tidbit with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, if you would like to continue the conversation with Brian, you are more than welcome to email him at brian.cranny@gvltec.edu. If you have questions that you'd like to see answered on the series or topics you'd like to see addressed and covered, please send me an email at rachel.cobb@gvltec.edu. And as always, if you have a teaching tidbit worth sharing or you know someone who does, please let me know. We want to get them on the series to share that valuable information with all of the faculty. Well, that's this week's GTC teaching tidbit, and we'll see you next time.